And before we even get into how much this snowball is growing in the past 3 days, I first have to let you guys know that this snowball, sometimes it has defrosted, right? And sometimes it was in the freezer waiting for me to put more ice on it or waiting me to make some more snow happen, right? So this snowball has been rolling since about a year ago, right? And about a year ago, I decided that I was going to start the process of being an entrepreneur and working towards something bigger than me. I was working a job, and I still am currently, which I'll get to that. But I was working at a professional sports team with a professional sports team, and I got this job right out of college. I was rushing to find something that was right for me. I had previous sales experience. Joined the first thing that gave me a decent offer where I felt like I could make a difference. And when I got in there, I realized that that wasn't the difference that I wanted to make in my life. And I didn't have the determination or the strength or the understanding that I still needed to do it, join, do it because that's what I said I was going to do, and do it because it was going to teach me more lessons that I needed, right? So when I joined this space and I started working on my own thing, I soon realized that that's not what I wanted to do. And without the understanding that there was more for me to learn and more for me to understand before going out and doing my own thing, such as having enough money, right, to go out and do my own thing, having the skill sets that that corporate space was able to teach me, right, the time management, being able to run your own business, being able to understand how to communicate at a certain level, and being able to operate professionally, period, right, with other individuals, with people who aren't necessarily your friends or aren't necessarily your peers, or maybe there's some animosity there, whatever it may be, still being able to operate and get the job done and be professional through any of that is what these spaces teach people. And they teach you how to be hardworking, and they teach you how to follow through with tasks. They teach you how to learn. They teach you how to think like a business person and like someone who can eventually run a company. But that's only if that's your goal. Your goal may be just to make money, right? You may go in there just to make money, just to feed your family. My perspective and what my goal was shaped the way that I was learning and shaped what I wanted to take away from that position. But due to my lack of experience, due to my lack of understanding of how to learn and how long it was going to take, and the determination and persistence that I was going to need to stay there longer and get those skills and learn those things, due to that unawareness, I left too soon. And it didn't stop my snowball. It didn't hurt or defrost it, but it was still just a snowflake at that time. I just had a couple ideas. I'll even show you guys later on the ideas that I was working on the very first time I wanted to go out on my own, be an entrepreneur, start my own business, do my own thing, and start a clothing brand. And this is the second shirt right here, the Mascot TV 2. And when I first started compounding and packing my snowball and starting to roll it down my hill and see how far it would go, I had so many different ideas about what I wanted to do, who I wanted to be, what type of content I wanted to create, what type of person I wanted to be. Still was not 100% sure who I was or how far I could even take this brand or what the brand was even going to be about. I quit so early that I didn't even have the tools or the tactics or the understanding of the business or what the design was, right? And we'll pull up those things later. I have it on that one website. I can't remember the name, but I'll show you. And it was tough. and tougher, because not only do I not know who I am, I'm now back out into the world, right? I was sheltered by this structure that they provided. I was sheltered by being guided and taught by people who've been in the role and know what to do already. I was back out into the world, having to teach myself, having to work through and learn more about myself and who I am and what I want to accomplish. And now I also have a big pile of shit with this business just sitting on my lap, a hot pile of garbage, not ready to be sold, not ready to be formed, just stanking. It's just a stanky shit, right? And now I'm in go mode. I'm in rush mode. I'm like, all right, I gotta do something. I gotta do something. I gotta figure it out. What am I gonna do with this snowball? What am I gonna do with this snowball? It's a piece of shit right now. I just got one snowflake and a big pile of shit. I got all this information. I got all these lookbooks. I got all these designs. I got all these different varieties of materials that I want to create. I got everything set up, and no action, no understanding, no determination, no focus to make it happen, because I was yet the person that I needed to be to grow this snowball, to push it down the hill, to see it compound. So I ended up rushing through the process, and there was often times that I had to rush back home from being out in the mall and selling t-shirts and put my snowball back in the freezer before my confidence just completely melted, right? Or the business just completely fell through. I had to basically work my own snowball, the business snowball, and everything else going on in my life. And this is when I realized that there's multiple things compounding at once, and why I so want you to focus on just you right now, because the more snowballs you try to take on when you're not ready to get those snowballs rolling and to form them up, not only are you going to be more distracted trying to hold on to each one before they melt, but you only have two hands, right? You can only do a certain amount of things at once, and you can only do a certain amount of things well at one time. So, me focusing on all these different pursuits, me running around trying to have my personal snowball, you got to building my confidence up. Or let me speak for myself. I'm building my confidence up. I'm building up who I want to be. I'm building up my beliefs. I'm building up who I am as a person, what I do on the daily, when I do those things, how I do those things, and where I'm going to take that, right? I'm building up this for my personal. And then I'm also building up this business. But I'm mixing these two together. I'm trying to mesh two snowballs that come from two completely different areas of the world, right? This one snowball I have in my hand of me is just like the fluffy snow, right? It's the powder snowball. And it's delicate. Our egos, our confidence is really delicate. We're human beings, you know. And in this business, it's a chunk of ice. It's a big, solid, like chunk of ice. And I'm trying to mix these two together, and I'm trying to make the business me and make me the business, and they're not forming, and they're both melting at the same time, and I'm like juggling them, right? So oftentimes I'm out selling t-shirts. I'm trying to get other people right. I'm trying to get this business right, this one snowball, and compound this. And then in the other hand, I'm melting. My confidence is going down. My self-care, my love for myself, my determination, my mental health is melting, right? And so now I had to put both snowballs in the freezer, right? And I had to sit down and I had to determine which one I was going to work on first. So, to do that, I had to be real with myself. And I had to look at myself in the mirror. I had to look at the business. I had to look at the things that I was doing, what the business meant, who I was, who the business was, as two separate things, separate the two, look at it from a third perspective or a third point of view, and analyze it. And what I found out was I couldn't do the business well. And not only was I trying to mesh the two when they aren't able to be meshed, but because I was so delicate, because I wasn't compounding myself and building up myself and my needs and taking care of the things that I needed to take care of, that I was hurting myself and hurting my business, melting both at the same time. And it wasn't until I put those in the freezer and took a step back that I truly realized that I needed to focus on one at a time and focus on myself. And so I put the business up, right? And it was hard. It was depressing. It was sad because I put so much work and effort into this building, into this business, building up my social media profiles, building up all these different things that meant so much to me and meant so much to the people around me, also to the people that I was helping, my family, my friends, and it hurt. But now looking back on that decision and looking back on the resources that I was able to create since then for myself and for others, and actually using those things to improve myself, now I can take the snowballs out of the freezer. My personal snowball is bigger, it's more solid, it's rolling constantly. And the way that I keep doing that and keep improving is by taking action on my brand, on the things that I want to be and stand for, that I want to be known for, continually taking action every single day, coming on stream, showing people who I am as a person, what my brand stands for, and where I'm taking it, right? Building that personal snowball. And now I'm slowly taking out the business one, right? And I'm sending that one down the hill. But as two separate entities, right? Two very separate things. And it's going to be hard starting your business. It's going to be hard to not put your all into it and not put your confidence in it, not put your self-worth in it. Because when you come to live and you get no views and you have a approach where you're trying to combine the two, you're gonna fail every single time, and that's okay. Because the more you fail, the more confidence you build. The more you keep coming back, the more you'll be able to do things like this. The more you'll be able to go out and fail and look stupid and get embarrassed and not care for the sake of your business and for the sake of your character, right? They do go hand in hand, but you must first focus on yourself, build yourself up, and then use those skill sets, use that strong foundation, use that snowball of personal growth to then bring your other things along. And once you have that strong foundation, this other thing, this other business, this other goal, this sport, this job, this position that you're looking for, this relationship that you want, this money goal that you have, that will come easy because you are strong in yourself. You can apply those things to that other thing, right? You can apply the same character traits that you use to be the best person and the best whatever to that new venture, right? And that's where I'm at right now. I'm at a place where I'm now able to have the strength, have the focus, have the determination, not put my all and not put my emotion in the results, but to truly love the process and truly let both snowballs roll down the hill until infinity, right? And I wouldn't be able to be there and I wouldn't be able to get here where I'm at now if it was not for that first snowflake. And so I want you guys to start with that snowflake today, to understand that you must first prioritize yourself before you do anything else. Take care of your health, take care of your relationships, do things that give you more love, more care, more money for yourself and your business and your family, more love to take care of those things. And then once you get to a place where that snowball is big enough and you're doing those things consistently, bring it back.